Guardians have a lefty on the mound, so the Cardinals go to their right-handed lineup presented by Ford. Mason Wynn leads it off. Luken Baker is the designated hitter. Ivan Herrera, as we told you, behind the plate. Jordan Walker gets a chance against a southpaw tonight. And that southpaw is Matthew Boyd. The Guardians, Brad, looking for pitching depth. Signed this guy in June, debuted in August, and he's 2-1 with a sub-3 ERA.
Yeah, missed a lot of last year and early this year, coming back from Tommy John, making his 8th start of the season. It could very well be a good option for them in postseason play. We've talked about their bullpen a lot. The pitch arsenal: four-seam, changeup, slider, sinker, and curveball for the veteran southpaw.
Boyd, originally a 6th-round pick by the Blue Jays in 2015. Then to Seattle, Detroit, now with Cleveland. 46 wins as a big league pitcher.
He was a part of that David Price deal that sent Price north of the border.
In his prime, before the arm injuries started piling up, he was a big-time strikeout pitcher. So we'll see how much of that is in the tank of Mr. Boyd, who's making a push to be part of their postseason plans. The Guardians have had injuries and ineffectiveness with their starting unit this year. Maybe they'll catch lightning in a bottle here in the month of September.
Yeah, you get a guy that's fresh, right? You don't get that luxury very often.
2 balls, 2 strikes, and a broken bat is going to keep it even for Wynn.
Well, that right there is something that Matthew Boyd does very well, is get inside on the right-handers, really able to run that four-seam fastball in off the plate. Then that opens up the other side with, he can pull a string with a changeup. He can sink it that way. Carl Willis, longtime pitching coach, looking on. You know, he likes having a new toy out there.
And for the Guardian staff, look, we talked about it last night. They don't have to pitch 7 to be effective. Get them through 5 with a chance to win the game and turn it over to the bullpen. That's how they won last night. That and 3 solo homers. So I think we saw a great example of how the Guardians have played all year en route to a 90-65 season to this point. Full count for Mason, batting .267. And popped up. Will this one stay in play? Josh Naylor is in the first base coaching box, and Wynn is retired for out number 1. Something else the Guardians did well last night. They cover a lot of ground. A terrific athletic defense. It's presented by Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers. Former Cardinal Lane Thomas in center. John Kenzie Noel, Big Christmas they call him, is debuting in this series.
Chip, as we know, for Luken Baker, it's been limited action for him. He's got big-time power. He's got a couple of home runs this year. Both his home runs and the triple that he has have been off of lefties. That's right, the triple.
Another chance for Naylor over near the tarp. Slowing now at the edge of the warning track. He handles 2 pop-outs to get the game started for the Cardinals offense. And Boyd, 2 up, 2 down. Here's Goldie. And he's going to get big cheers all night tonight, all day tomorrow. Don't know what his fate will be for the Cardinals after this season. He's a free agent to be. That's lined into left and down for a base hit. So there goes the no-hitter, a 2-out single for Goldschmidt. And that is the first hit for either club here tonight.
Goldie goes down and just scoops this right off the end of the bat. Just ended up missing it. Probably a good thing that he didn't square it up. Would have been right at Martinez over there in left field.
Nolan Arenado trying to hit that ever elusive homer against Cleveland. The only team against which he has yet to hit a long ball. Tonight would be a great night for number 17 on the season. Arenado at 69 RBIs. 1 ball, no strikes. Back our way and off to our right. fan from Wilsonville, Illinois, came up with that souvenir. They got good seats right below the booth tonight. See how they fare the rest of the way. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You think being near us, that's a good seat, or is that a bad seat? Depending on how vocal we get.
Well, if it's a cold night, there's so much hot air going out, it's probably very comfortable.
Good call on that.
What do you think?
It is warm tonight, though.
Yeah, last day of summer. Can you believe it? Autumn begins tomorrow morning officially. And a strike. It's 2-2. Brian Onora, by the way, has the plate.
Well, Brian Onora is calling that side of the plate. Got that strikeout on Manzardo for Miles Michaelis in off the plate for the lefty.
And a slurve, swing and a miss. And Arenado is down on strike. So the duel is on. Michaelis and Boyd, no score. After 1, the greatest show on turf. Celebrated in St. Louis before the game. Jim Hayes will chat with Isaac Bruce when we return. We told you moments ago the magic number for the Guardians was 1 entering play today. A Cleveland win or a Royals loss means the Guardians clinch the Central. Well, the Giants just beat Kansas City, so Cleveland has won the AL Central in Stephen Vogt's first year at the helm.
Well, congratulations to them. And for Stephen Vogt, what a job he did. I don't think that the expectations were coming in this year that they were going to win the division. This is a team that was 10 games under 500 a year ago, filling in for one of the best managers to do it in Terry Francona. It was going to be tough. 3rd youngest ball club in all of baseball. Had their pitching woes, but boy, they put it all together this season.
So the Guardians and Cardinals scoreless in the second. Cleveland champions of the AL Central, and Jim Hayes standing by with the champion here in St. Louis.
Yeah, we are celebrating the greatest show on turf. I'm with the Hall of Famer Isaac Bruce. When you think about the Super Bowl that year, you had the 73-yard touchdown catch to put the Rams on top. You had the tackle by Mike Jones. And what a magical season. When you think back, what stands out to you about that season and about that Super Bowl?
Well, there's a lot about the season. First of all, just coming together in Macomb, Illinois that summer. And from there, really the way we kind of ran the table in our division. That's the first thing you want to accomplish when going for a championship. And most importantly, just the camaraderie that we had in Atlanta that week, as cold as it was. And then just finishing the game with the greatest tackle of my career made by Mike Jones.
And now you're back with all these guys celebrating that magical season. What's it like seeing all these guys?
Oh, it's awesome. I mean, for probably the last decade or so, we've all been on this group text. And so it's good to put faces with text and with voices now. So it's been a while since we've seen each other, but once we come around each other, we turn it right back into the locker room. So it's great for these guys to be here, and the St. Louis Cardinals have been so gracious to fly me and my teammates back in, and we celebrated with my foundation last night. We're happy for that.
So tell me about your foundation, because I know that you have been doing a lot of good work with the foundation for many years now. Tell us about the kind of stuff you're doing.
Well, since 2006, we started the foundation, wanted to make a positive impact here in the city of St. Louis, from education to fitness to wellness. Biggest program that we have going right now is our Flight 300 program. It's where we send students to school who can't afford an airline ticket, bus ticket. We take care of that issue for them, provide them with Uber rides and dorm decor. So it's been going well. We did a tremendous event last night, a gala hosted at Live Lowe's, and raised over $200,000. So we're happy about that and looking for donation even today.
I know you were still tied to the city of St. Louis. I know you feel very strongly about the fan base here. Maybe it's just sour grapes on my part. Can you believe that we don't have an NFL team in St. Louis?
Well, to be honest, I think it's unfortunate because the fan base here is so great, very knowledgeable, educated about many sports, football, hockey. We see it happening, and they support their team. They support their home teams like no other city in America. So for St. Louis to not have a football team in this area, it's amazing, and unfortunately, and hopefully it changes soon.
We have some great memories from your team. We appreciate you chatting with us just a little while.
No doubt. Thanks for having me.
And this guy, Chip, you'll notice, doesn't age at all, the great Isaac Bruce.
Unlike mere mortals like you and me and Brad. That's a great interview, and welcome back, Mr. Bruce, to the greatest show on turf. The Rams, 1999, 2000, and 2001. Brad went 37-11 in regular season play. First NFL team just put up 500 or more points in 3 consecutive seasons.
Just electric. Mike Mart's offense.
That's smacked up the middle by Andres Jimenez. And Lane Thomas will go first to third with 1 out. That scoots away. Now a runner coming home. Mason Webb with a throw. That's going to be in plenty of time. Thomas saw the relay throw pop away from the middle infield. He got greedy, and Mason Wynn's arm picks up the Cardinals defense for out number 2.
Well, you love aggressiveness, right? But a little bit too aggressive right here from Lane Thomas. Goes first to third. Jordan Walker comes up. Relay throw coming in on a hop, kicks away. But the speedy Mason Wynn able to get him by a long shot.
So the soft throw from right turns into out number 2 at the plate. And here is John Kenzie Noel. This is a big hombre, 6'3", 250 pounds, 13 homers, and one of five international free agents in the Cleveland starting lineup tonight. And a chopper foul. This guy broke in and was hitting everything in sight. In fact, June 26th, homered in his first at bat, the fourth Cleveland player all time to do that. But a cold Christmas has come early for Mr. Noel in September. He is struggling at the plate right now.
Yeah, and it's going to happen, right? It's going to happen for young players. You're going to have those ebbs and flows. Find out what the other side continues to try to do to you. After seeing that huge hack of Noel, I'm pretty sure I'm staying away from him. Good chance.
14 strikeouts and 38 trips to the plate so far in September for Noel. And out of play, a ball and 2 strikes. And that final in Kansas City today, 9-0. They started that game a couple of hours earlier than previously scheduled in anticipation of bad weather at Kauffman Stadium. But the Giants provided the thunder and lightning. And now Kansas City will try to clinch a wild card spot out of the AL Central.
I'm rooting for the Royals. You like to see baseball's biggest stars on its biggest stage. Bobby Witt Jr. definitely one of those.
He's trying to win the first Royals batting title since George Brett. He's had a awesome year. And Kansas City at the start of play today, the second wild card. Just 1 game ahead of Minnesota. More on that after this 1-2 pitch is up and away. In fact, the Royals flirting with both making the playoffs and missing the playoffs. It's still a very tight race for the 2-3 spots in the AL wild card.
That's how it's supposed to be that final week, right? That's the idea of the wild card, and adding another wild card is having more teams believing that they're in it. Fan bases are all in late. I know you're just a big baseball fan in general, going to be watching all these games down the stretch.
Keeps more fans engaged in late September. 3-2 pitch, runner goes, and strike three. Noel is retired. Second strikeout for Michaelis. Both looking. He's got 2 scoreless innings under his belt tonight. The Cardinals and Valley Sports recognize local nonprofit Freedom Community Center, a black and formerly incarcerated-led organization. FCC's the first transformative justice hub in the state of Missouri, creating healing pathways for survivors of violence. Thank you, Freedom Community Center, for pitching in tonight. Ivan Herrera leads off the St. Louis second. Just underway, no score. We are glad you're with us tonight. Matthew Boyd and Miles Michaelis are tonight's starters. And that one curls in for a strike.
Well, Herrera has handled the bat really well at the big league level, especially when he's starting, getting into a groove, hitting almost 300 in games that he does start. Got something in his eyes there. But a guy that's handled the bat every level coming up through the minor leagues, he has hit the ball well. You've seen him grow defensively in the last couple of years also.
Cardinals' third team in Major League history to have 3 catchers make 50 or more starts in regular season play. And Herrera obviously one of those. That because of the injuries to Wilson Contreras. First the fractured arm and then the fractured right middle finger. And a swing and a miss. There is strikeout number 2 for Boyd. 1 away in the second. Here's Brendan Donovan. Talk about finishing strong. That's exactly what Donovan is doing at the plate. We told you he's made just 2 errors afield this year. How about his September? A .379 average, 9 strikeouts, 7 walks in 58 at bats.
Well, it's just so nice to have him here and healthy, the ability to play multiple positions. He's been so good out in left field. The instincts, the jumps, everything's been getting better and better. But he's one of the toughest guys in the league to strike out. He'll foul off and see a lot of pitches, and he can drive the baseball.
Found some bumblebees in the hands after that swing, and Donnie now 0-2.
Well, went in on his hands right there. He's got a couple of opportunities here. You could double up in, or Boyd likes that slider away to the left-handers with 2 strikes.
No chance for that one. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Nationals beat the Cubs today. Cardinals would love to finish ahead of Chicago in the National League Central. At the start of action tonight, the Cardinals 2 games behind Chicago for second place.
I know it doesn't change anything for you. It doesn't change what you're doing in October, but finishing strong always is a good thing, and then finishing on top of Chicago, you feel good about it.
And Donovan doing exactly what you suggested he might here. He's fouled off a couple after getting behind 0-2.
Oh, guys like him are a huge pain in the tail. You hate playing against them. You love having them on your team.
Boyd rocks, and his 2-2 is back to the mound. He checks the baseball, throws a strike to first, and that's his first ground out in the game. Here's Jordan Walker. Jordan last night went 1 for 4. He had a 7th inning single to highlight his game. He begins play tonight at 188 in 146 plate appearances. And foul back, strike 1.
Jordan Walker so far this season, he's actually been better against the righties, hitting 132, only 1 home run against southpaw so far. I think that potentially a lot of the reason for that is lefties stay away from him. Arm side, it's easier to control your fastball on that side of the plate. If there's a side of the plate that Jordan struggles, it's away from him.
And that pitch in particular is giving him trouble, lefties and righties alike. Off speed has Walker behind 1 and 2. 2 quick outs for Matthew Boyd. Still no score. And he's ready with pitch number 30. Again, the 1-2 pitch. Boyd peers in now. He delivers and missed badly again. Full count. Trying to get Jordan to chase that pitch down or away, but he's missed badly twice in this sequence. And Thomas Saggese would love a chance to bat here in a scoreless second inning. He's in the on-deck circle. And that's taken down low. Good work by Walker there. He was behind in the count. He coaxes a walk, second base runner for St. Louis. And here is Saggese after a quick word from St. Louis Children's Hospital.
St. Louis Children's Hospital, the only place where Washington University physicians have gathered from across the globe, discovering and developing life-changing treatments for kids.
One of the best parts of our job, Brad, is, I hope you'd agree, is getting a chance to talk with Oliver Marmol before each and every game, and I really liked his insights as to what he's seen from Saggese so far.
Well, he just he can't speak highly enough about him. Just said he's a pro. This young man does everything right. He's got a great idea of what he's doing. He loves the at-bats that he's been taking. We were talking to him today about the approach that he has at the plate. Early on, he's going to take rips like that. Now in a count, he's 0-2. His swing and his approach is going to change. He's not going to come out of his shoes. He'll be thinking up the middle the other way. We saw it in the ball game last night. Opposite field hit with 2 strikes.
Walker is short lead, 0-2 count. And he couldn't hold up there, and Boyd has his second strikeout of the inning, his third punch out of tonight's game, which is still scoreless. Told you earlier, Miles Michaelis closing in on 1,000 innings as a Cardinal. Another milestone is approaching, Brad. That's our Kia player profile.
Look at the most starts since 2022. It's Miles Michaelis on top. Dylan Cease, Logan Webb are the two behind him. One of the biggest abilities you can have as a big league starter, Chip, as you very well know, is availability. And this guy has been available. He's been largely healthy. Mentioned it, over 200 innings 3 times now wearing the birds on the bat. It's a big deal. It takes so much pressure off your bullpen when you have a guy that can do that.
So Michaelis trying to finish 2024 strong for the Cardinals. Just 26 pitches in his first 2 innings, couple of hits with 2 strikeouts. And here in the top of the 3rd inning, Bo Naylor, Brian Rocchio, and Angel Martinez. The Guardians trio coming up. Josh Naylor, Bo Naylor, brothers from Mississauga, Ontario.
That's so cool. You imagine that as kids growing up, you want to play in the big leagues, a dream realized for both of them, and then get to come together because they weren't both drafted by the organization. He was traded over by the Padres, was Josh.
Bo awaits a 3-2 and out of play, foul. We'll try again with a full count. Well, as you said, this is a very young team. It's also a very inexpensive team. They've got a chance to grow together for a long time in the American League Central.
You want to talk about a good blueprint. Team that's already at 90 wins, clinched their division.
Ciani glides back, all kinds of room to handle that drive. There's your first out. And so with that in mind, Bradley, what is Miles Michaelis' Toyota key to victory?
Yeah, I think this would be a good time to sneak it in. The key is use the D. Use that defense for the Cardinals. That's the key with Miles Michaelis, especially if he wants to go late into this ball game. This is a ball club, as we talked about in Game 1. They do not strike out a lot. They just don't. They put the ball in play. They put pressure on you. Cardinals have a very good defense. For Miles Michaelis, use them.
3 Guardians struck out in the game last night. That was with Gibson and Steven Matz. Miles has struck out 2 in the first 2 innings. So his ball is moving tonight. This is Brian Rocchio. Broken bat and on the ground right side. Miles has to get to the bag and did, but dropped the ball. Goldie was undecided. He ranged way to his right. That said, Michaelis read it, made a strong run to the bag. So JC hit him perfectly. Miles just dropped it.
Yeah, I was actually surprised Goldie went after this one, but either way, Miles did his job and he got to the bag. Just got to be able to squeeze it on that one.
So the third base runner, courtesy of an error on Michaelis. Now Martinez is up. He flied out to center to start the game. This kid's just 22 years old.
Well, he's been hyper aggressive. Both games he has started out swinging at the first pitch.
And did it again. Funny how the game works. Michaelis has been one of the best fielding pitchers in Major League Baseball the last half decade. No errors for 5 years. He's made 2 this year. Who would have thought that?
It finds you at some point, right? And that's frustrating because those little details of the game, I know that's something that Miles works hard on, right? All the stuff that you go through all spring training long to PFPs, they're not just reps for no reason.
Walker retreats. He'll have no trouble with that. And a stronger throw from him this time for out number 2. Vote Paul Goldschmidt for the 2024 Roberto Clemente Award presented by Capital One, recognizing players who best represent our game through positive contributions on and off the field. Vote today at MLB.com/Clemente Award. Kyle Manzardo is next. He was Miles's first strikeout victim. Caught him looking in the opening inning. He's got a big swing, doesn't he? Strike 1. Quickly 0-2.
Yeah, pretty good spot right there. Went down and in for strike 1, then paints a corner for number 2.
Rocchio a short lead at first, and that one a little upstairs. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, that is a really good area to set up your next pitch. Oftentimes with the lefties with 2 strikes, Miles Michaelis likes to go with that slower curveball. Went with a harder cutter that time. Little slider in on the hands.
That skipped into the Cardinals dugout. Cardinals athletic trainer Chris Conroy almost came up with that one.
Look, if CC didn't field it, there was a bad hop somewhere.
Yeah. 1-2 pitch is a little low.
There's that curveball just backed up out of Michaelis' hands.
Setting a major league record tonight. There are 2 Chris Conroys in uniform.
Look, he got him. He got him. He fixed himself up, though. You talk about a warrior. Look at CC.
Chris Conroy, also the second base umpire. Ground ball to the right side. Nice pick. Throw to first. A lawn dart and in time. Great play by Sajasi. He had to sling that to first after he tumbled to the turf. A great play to keep the Guardians scoreless after 3. both movements in Cleveland and St. Louis. Brad, that's how you also build the foundation for a successful run.
It really is. Most games played, players 25 and under. The Cardinals right on top of that list with 944 of them. Your everyday shortstop, obviously one of those in Mason Wynn. And a lot of young talent on this club.
And for the Cardinals, 6 of their 9 starters are homegrown products. Michael Ciani is not one of them, although much of his big league development has come since he came over from Cincinnati.
And certainly counts on that list. 25 years old, Ciani is.
Nice year for Michael. He's in the hunt for the Gold Glove in center field, batting .235 for the year. Leads the club with 19 stolen bases. The pitch. One hit, one walk is all that Matthew Boyd has allowed tonight. We still have no score. And that's going to stay fair at first. Easy play for Naylor. And he'll get there a step in front of Ciani for out number 1. Fans, this week on Cardinals Insider, sit down with shortstop Mason Wynn, unbox a bobblehead with Lars Nootbaar, and hit the links in Jupiter, Florida. That's on Cardinals Insider tomorrow at noon right here on Bally Sports. And tomorrow, of course, our final regular season home game for us here on Bally Sports Midwest in St. Louis. Hope you'll join us for Andre Palante and Gavin Williams.
Oh, it should be a fun one. Andre Palante, as we know, been Cardinals' best starter in the second half. Have an opportunity for a potential, or at least this point, a send-off for Paul Goldschmidt in front of the home crowd. Don't know what the future looks like for him. Same thing with Matt Carpenter, longtime Cardinal, a free agent at the end of the season. So I'm sure it's going to be an emotional one for a couple of guys.
Cardinals can win today and win tomorrow. They could still win the series over Cleveland. But got to get the offense cranking up a bit here. It's been quiet over the last couple of weeks. Mason popped out his first time up, so he's 0 for 1. And launches that ball on a line to left center. That baby's going to bounce off the base of the wall. Mason Wynn with a laser and hustles into second. The ball gets away, but Mason, looking into the outfield, can't advance to third. Mason was staring out toward the Cardinals bullpen, and when the relay throw came all the way through the middle of the infield, he missed a chance to move up an extra 90 feet.
Yeah, first let's start with the swing of the bat, the pitch, Chevy pitch track, 92 mile an hour right down the middle, 108 off the bat there of Mason Wynn. I mean, this ball is scorched off the wall, a couple more feet, and that thing is a hit. And you see this never in baseball of it getting through 3 levels of defense. But you got to see the first one of it getting past the first defender, just never looked and missed a big opportunity there.
So Mason will be kicking himself over that. Now it takes a hit with 1 out to plate the game's first run. Luken Baker is that batter. He popped out his first time up. For Mason, his 28th 2-base hit of the year.
Well, last time out for Matthew Boyd against the Twins, this is the inning that got to him. He was cruising through his first 2, and then that 3rd inning, he was at almost 40 pitches before he got lifted. Maybe the Cardinals can put a little something on him here this second time around.
Baker looking for RBIs 11 and 12 right here with Goldschmidt waiting on deck. They got a lefty on the mound. Maybe Mason thinks about stealing third. We'll see. Good lead. Not going. And a broken bat. Into right field, a base hit. Wynn had to hold up just in case Jimenez came up with that one, and he's prone on the turf. Yeah, I think he's mad he didn't catch it. And the Cardinals have a threat. A broken bat single makes it 1st and 3rd.
Change up off the plate, down and away. Jimenez was shaded up the middle, holding Mason Wynn on, and that's what let that ball sneak through. That's what you have to do as a base runner, too. You have to hold there just in case he makes that diving grab.
Well, Big Mac Land beckons for Paul Goldschmidt. He singled his first time up. That base hit, his fourth hit on the homestand. First and third, one away. Goldie 0-2 as we've reached 7 o'clock in St. Louis. Beautiful sunset in the offing tonight. Another warm, humid evening as we get set for autumn tomorrow. Good rip and fouled straight back.
That's something we've seen, especially as of late the last month, is Goldie's ability to get to that pitch on the inner half. Jumped that one 0-2. That was a good fastball in and a very aggressive swing.
Tons of room in right center for Goldschmidt. Baker is short lead at first, but he will draw a throw. Got to respect him. He's got a triple, and he's also got a stolen base this year.
Well, speed does that to you, right? Just puts a little bug in the back of your head as a pitcher.
Nothing in 2. And nothing in 3. Goldschmidt doesn't get a slider. Fourth strikeout for Boyd. Now 2 outs.
Yeah, pretty good slider right here by Matthew Boyd. Chevy pitch track. Started on the outer half, ended up down middle.
So the Redbirds 1 for 2 with a runner in scoring position. Fresh set of balls for Brian O'Nora. He'll reload and get back behind Naylor for Nolan Arenado, who was struck out to end the Cardinals first. Naylor had to stretch out to make that play. 1 ball, no strikes. They play him to pull, as you'd suspect. There is room down the right field line and on the infield to the right side. Swing and a drive. That one down the line. Did he keep it fair? Just a touch too early.
Oh, do it again.
Got a pitch middle in. Anything up in the zone he can punish.
Arenado 1 hit away from number 150. It'll be 8 seasons of that for him when it comes. And a fly ball into shallow left. Martinez froze for a moment, but is there to retire the side. Cardinals get a couple of hits. Can't cash it in for the game's first run, and Jim Hayes will join Torrey Holt as we celebrate the greatest show on turf's 25th anniversary tonight.
The Cardinals honoring the greatest show on turf tonight. Big game, Torrey Holt, 7-time Pro Bowler, a big part of that magical season. You were a rookie for that Super Bowl season.
Yeah.
You had an Arena League quarterback and some talent came out of nowhere to destroy the offensive record books. When did you know early on that something was brewing there?
I would say for me, going to our mini camps was really good. Marshall told a story last night about when he first came on and he saw us at mini camp and how competitive we were, how efficient we were offensively, and then our defense. Again, they sharpened us up. They got us ready. We got them ready. But I knew early on, like in mini camp, training camp, I said if we stay healthy, we do things the right way, we got a chance. I didn't know if it would be Super Bowl, but I knew it would be. I knew we would be a good football team, and we would win more games than we won the previous year.
So many offensive weapons on that club you mentioned. You had Isaac Bruce. You have Marshall Faulk, Ricky Prohl, great players. But Kurt Warner, again, was an unknown commodity. What was it like watching him emerge?
You know what? The year before I got there, I remember talking to Isaac. I mean, not Isaac, but I remember talking to Oz, and I remember talking to Tony, and even Ricky. They was just talking about how good Kurt could throw the football around. And once, unfortunately, when Trent went down and he was thrown in to be our quarterback, we never skipped a beat. But he was ready. Like, one of the things that Kurt did really well was he was there early, and he was always studying, he was always preparing himself. And I think mentally and psychologically, he was preparing himself for that moment. And when it happened, rest is history, obviously. He was also playing around Hall of Fame players, guys that the game meant a lot to. So it was easy for him to fall into that mix and apply what he So it was easy for him to fall into that mix and apply what he was able to apply with his skill sets and with his mind. And then Coach Martz was just dialing it up, and we was just making it happen.
Some people mock St. Louis for not being a great football town. Back then, the Dome was crazy, wasn't it?
Oh, Dome was amazing. Like, our fans were the best fans in the National Football League, best fans in the country. And yes, we had to give them something to cheer about. But when we did, they was the loudest. People feared coming into the Dome to play us because of how loud it was and just the joy. So thankful for our St. Louis Rams crowds for being there every single Sunday, supporting us and showing us the love. And even today, man, going around in the trucks and saying hello to the fans here that remembered us and what we was able to bring to the city was a great joy.
The numbers don't lie, right? Facts are facts. Yeah. You belong in the NFL Hall of Fame. When are you going to get in there?
I don't know. Hopefully soon. You know, the last 5 years I've been a finalist. And the last 2 years I've been voted down to the final 10. So you go from 10 to 5 and then you're in. So hopefully this year is the year that I go from 10 to 5. But I would say this, Jim, just being mentioned with so many great players that's played this game and to be mentioned as a potential future Hall of Famer is very humbling. But I also want to give respect and thanks to my teammates and to my coaches, to my community that helped me and pulled for me and gave me the juice to go out and be able to do what I did as a player.
Well said. We're all rooting for you. Thanks for the time.
Thank you. Thanks, St. Louis. I miss you. Appreciate it.
That's the big game.
And we miss you, too. That was a great interview, Jimmy. Great to see the 25th anniversary guys back at the ballpark. Great that the Cardinals honored them. There was no rivalry between St. Louis and the Rams. It was all part of civic pride, and those guys certainly did their part a quarter of a century ago.
For sure. I mean, one of the best teams in the history of the sport, obviously in '99, the greatest show on turf. And it is cool to see all of the fans reconnecting with those guys. And you know it means the world for them to come back. These guys traveling from all over the country to be here tonight because this city means something to them.
Miles Michaelis pitching well tonight. He's given up a double and a pop out here in the fourth inning. He's got Lane Thomas up. Thomas singled, advanced to third, and is going to roll out to third this time. Arenado with a strong throw gets him 2 outs. And now Andres Jimenez next in a scoreless game. And these are important starts for a man, even with the pedigree of Miles Michaelis. You always want to improve. You always want to finish strong. You always want to look ahead to next year. That's what Ollie told us. There are things he's trying to improve upon to have a better year than 8-11 and 5.49, which was his ERA at the start of tonight's play.
It's just for anybody, young players or veteran ones, it comes down to execution, right? And that's what Miles is trying to do. He's trying to execute the right pitches at the right time, and hopefully he can end on a better foot. You know, the numbers this year at home have not been good. A 6.54 ERA, that's the highest in all of baseball for any home starter.
And that's a surprising number because historically he's been good on his home mound, and this is a great pitcher's park.
It is, and there are some crazy years, you know that, right? I mean, it's just sometimes things don't make any sense. But he's trying to make sense of his last couple of starts here in 2024, under contract for 2025, and he wants it to look different than this.
On the ground to second, Sajacy gives ground from the cut of the grass, throws a strike, and his good defensive night continues. Miles Michaelis pointing the way from the mound for the Cardinals. No score, middle of the fourth. Help Cardinals Care raise funds to benefit kids in the community by participating in the Cardinals Care September Mega 50-50 rollover raffle presented by DraftKings, the Casino Queen. 6 chances to win, including 5 early bird prizes. You have to be 18 and in Missouri at the time of purchase. Visit Cardinals.com/5050 for all the info. Good game tonight, scoreless. As we head to the home fourth, the Guardians have already clinched the AL Central by virtue of a Royals 9-0 loss at home today. So, you know, Rip Rowan and his great staff in the Cardinals visiting clubhouse here is getting the plastic ready.
They're going to be busy over there. There's going to be some cleanup, that's for sure. That's something, I was thinking about this yesterday as we were talking about the Guardians had already clinched their postseason berth. I was just thinking about the first time clinching the postseason and what that feeling is like. And I want that so bad for the young guys that are on this ball club. The last couple of years have not gone the way that the Cardinals expected. Stephen Vogt, in his first year as skipper of the Guardians, he takes his team to a division title. It is the best feeling in the world, and it truly is. It's a reminder of exactly why you do it. And it's just kind of the culmination of all that hard work, that celebration, and each one gets better and better along the way. And your group gets tighter and tighter. I mean, it's something special.
And the Guardians trying not just to win their division, but trying to end up with the best record in the American League. They start play tonight a half game behind the Yankees for the top AL mark in 2024. The Yankees play in Oakland later on tonight. As we mentioned yesterday, it's the final weekend of Big League Baseball at the Oakland Coliseum. They'll have a couple of games left with the Texas Rangers before finishing on the road. But you're right. It almost is an evolutionary thing for a young club, right? You happy to get in the playoffs. You want to win, obviously, and get as far as you can. But each succeeding season, you seem to take, the good teams do at least, that next progressive step forward. And then, boom, all of a sudden, you find yourself in the World Series. It can happen that quickly.
Oh, it definitely can. And with this team, I mean, for the Guardians, yeah, they might not have all of the firepower in their rotation. They got plenty of it in the bullpen. Stephen Vogt will use that early. They've got some talented young players. They've made some trades, brought guys in. Lane Thomas among those. I mean, they've tweaked their roster, mentioned how young it is. One of the lower payrolls in the game of baseball also.
That just missed. Good take by Ivan Herrera. 3-2 to count. Herrera struck out his first time up. That began the Cardinals' second inning. Noel and Martinez.
It's going to be a fun run for those two youngsters.
Yep.
Both rookies, both going to be on the biggest stage in baseball.
So I guess the question now is, what's the bigger advantage? Having the top seed and the time off to rest, or fighting your way through as a wild card team? Seems like the teams that end up getting the rest get bumped more quickly.
I get that. It's hard to say, though. Having a bye and being able to set up your team is not the best thing, but there is something to be said by momentum. I really think that the answer to that is basically whatever happens. So, wild card team went on. Well, that's because they're hot. You know, it's at the end of the day, I think the best team's going to move forward.
I wonder if baseball would ever go to a situation where the ultimate reward for the top seed is you get to choose. You either take your rest or you pick your first round opponent.
Be interesting. I kind of like the ideas, and as they were tweaking things, of having the last division winner pick which wild card that they wanted to play.
Right.
I thought that would be an interesting
And you
one.
think about the ultimate bulletin board material. Oh, you want to play us? Okay.
How about we just flip a coin, huh?
Right. But that would add a little more intrigue and drama to it.
But there are some teams, I mean, it would be all strategy based. You have
Right.
a team that you got 3 lefty starters, they struggle against lefties. Okay, we'll take so-and-so.
Herrera has earned the second Cardinals walk. And Donovan takes upstairs to even things up. Boyd's done a nice job. Not bad for a guy that signed in June after he was recovering from Tommy John surgery. Cardinals have seen him before, both times with the Tigers, including last year. The pitch. And he pitched well against St. Louis, allowing just 1 run in 6 innings.
Looked a lot like this, minus that run yet. Cardinals still got plenty of time.
Two and two. Donovan's done good work against lefties. 265 the average. No homers yet against a southpaw. This would be a nice time to change that. And off to our left. 2-2. Nice crowd tonight. Upper 30s, we think, tonight. Same expected for the final home game of the year tomorrow.
That's how it should be, right? A great send-off. And hopefully a great showing in the last 2 games here at Busch Stadium this year.
Swing and a miss. Donovan didn't get a high-tight fastball. 5 strikeouts for Boyd. 1 on, 1 out.
Well, pitch number 69, a good one. Chevy pitch track up and in. Ties up Donovan.
Jordan Walker with a base on balls. That came with 2 outs in the second. Walker, then Sajasi, barring a double play. Hits even 3 apiece. St. Louis has committed the lone error, and the Redbirds have left 4 on base. Swing and a drive down the left field line. That one's got a chance. It stays up and out. A line drive homer for Jordan Walker, and the Cardinals break through in the 4th.
But this big crowd at Busch Stadium finally got something to cheer for. Matthew Boyd tried to test Jordan Walker on the inner half of the plate, and he was ready for it. 92-mile-an-hour fastball in, dropped the head, and the line drive quickly out of here to make it 2-0.
So his 5th homer of the month. The walk and the dinger makes it 2-zip. And now Thomas Sajasi is up.
3-1. All right, great at bat.
Sajasi struck out his first time. And for Boyd, just the 4th homer he's given up in almost 40 innings. Miles Michaelis says thank you. He enjoys his first lead now. A 2-run Jordan Walker homer. The 1-2 pitch. Inside out swing popped up. That's headed for the box seats by the dugout. Oh, and a young fan had a chance. Brought the glove and muffed it.
Oh, all right, got to get the next one. He might be taking a little heat from somebody in the dugout saying, seriously? He'll get the next one. The game finds you, Chip.
1-2 pitch. And off to our right. Not an easy play for that youngster. Look, you've got all the big leaguers paying attention to you, leaning over the dugout.
Ball spinning like crazy on that one.
Yeah.
I mean, no excuses. Play like a champion. You missed it, but get the next one.
Spoken like a true coach. 2 outs from the relentless Brad Thompson.
He's going to get the next one. You learn from that. He's not crying or anything, so
No,
that's
good.
Seen a lot of that over the years.
He's watching the monitor and he knows that
there are 2 hands.
if that kid has a cell phone, it's going to blow up here in about 30 seconds as Siani bats. But look, win, lose, or draw, isn't it great to see young fans at the big league ballparks not just coming to the games, not on their phones. They're watching the action, picking out their favorite player.
We've talked about this a lot throughout the year, Chip, on the air and off of it. I know the results have not been what the Cardinals wanted it to be. I've never had a bad time at a ball game. And you go, you enjoy it, you get to learn, you get to see, especially for young kids, get to see the speed of the game. You get to see a guy like Jordan Walker hit his 5th home run of the month and say, man, I want to swing like that, or I want to beat Nolan Arenado. I want to wear those chains that have all the bling on it. That kid had plenty of them. We got to get some of those. We've talked about that.
And that's the future of our game, right?
Bling?
Bling. And great young Cardinal fans like that.
No doubt.
2 balls, 2 strikes. And no swing. Siani will face a 3-2 pitch. Tigers won today. They beat Baltimore 6-4. Tigers need some help as they try to catch the Twins. Their game was rained out in Boston. So the degree of difficulty for Minnesota will get a little more difficult tomorrow, we presume, with the doubleheader. The Twins own the tiebreaker over Detroit should they finish tied in regular season play. And that is the first tiebreaker. 3-2 pitch. And Ciani takes ball 4. So 3 walks. 2 of them in this inning. 2 strikeouts and a homer. And now Mason Wynn is next. He doubled his last time up. So our first look at Carl Willis. He's the Guardians pitching coach. He's going to give Boyd a breather here. He's in the low 80s with his pitch count. And a lot of them in this inning, 31 in fact. So while the Guardians talk it over, we will step aside quickly for a word from Auto Owners Insurance.
Auto Owners thinks the more you protect, the more you should save. And that's simple human sense.
Mason Wynn's 28th double highlighted a Cardinals 3rd inning. But both he and Luken Baker were left stranded. Mason a base running mistake. Lost St. Louis a run in that frame. But all's forgiven at the moment thanks to the Jordan Walker homer. And that is as close to a balk move as you're going to see.
That step about 45 degrees. Biggest key for a lefty is you walk it off, right? You don't just stop there. You push off that front right foot and then create your straight line to first.
Good take. It was low. 1 ball, no strikes. Eli Morgan has begun to play catch in the Guardians bullpen in left. Good changeup. 1 ball, 1 strike. So Mason's got him right where he wants him with a 2-strike count. That's our Hyundai in the driver's seat feature.
Well, highest average with 2 strikes since 2000. Albert Pujols, Stephen Kwan, Spencer Steer, Mike Trout, and then Mason Wynn. Quite the list to be on. It'll be a very complete hitter to be able to do what he's doing.
Good swing here. Noel drifts over and puts that away and retires the side. A walk and then a homer from Jordan Walker. A line drive to left. His team high 5th homer in September, right down the line. That gives Miles Michaelis and the Redbirds a 2-run lead. Jordan Walker sends us to inning number 5 with the lead. It's 2-0. And it is the first Noel coming up here in the 5th inning. John Kenzie leads off and takes a strike. I think he's got a great nickname, Big Christmas.
It's I don't know how they came up with it, but it's catchy, Chip.
I mean, John Kenzie, Noel is not the first Noel to play in the big leagues. There was a pitcher named Todd Noel. Remember him with the Cubs years ago?
So he was the first Noel?
I think so. Shouldn't the Angels have someone named Noel at some point in their history?
You would think so. Maybe that's been the problem.
Ground ball is short. Mason's got it, and Noel will have to wait till next year. As far as at-bats are concerned, one up, one down. Time for our BJC Healthcare Injury Report. Some news made today in St. Louis.
Yeah, just they're not going to push it anymore this season for Sonny Gray. Placed on the 15-day IL, right forearm flexor tendonitis. So the corresponding move, Kyle Leahy, he comes back, bolsters the bullpen for the Cardinals. Right now, if you're out of the postseason, if you're feeling anything, if you're Sonny Gray, I mean, that's your big-time investment in your pitching staff. You're going to be very smart with him. You let him start healing early in the offseason and hope to anchor you next season.
Yeah, well, what's your report card for Sonny Gray, if you will, as he's wrapped up for 2024?
Look, I thought that, I don't know what a grade I give.
Yeah.
B? I don't know if we're giving out grades. But gave you a chance this season. He had some ups, had some downs. I really enjoyed watching just kind of his process of going through it. He's one of the most intelligent pitchers probably I've had a chance to see. I enjoy that.
Bo Naylor drills that one to deep right, and that one's into the bullpen.
I didn't enjoy that so much.
Nope.
As much for Bo Naylor.
That's his 13th home run. It cuts the lead in half. And the 25th homer allowed by Michaelis this year. A 2-1 game now.
Well, Bo Naylor got himself a hanger right here on a changeup. He was trying to bury this at the bottom of the zone. It hung up. Just barreled to it.
That one 390 unhappy feet for the Cardinals. As Brian Rocchio is next. He reached on an error and was stranded in the third inning. Yeah, I agree with you with Sonny Gray. Remember, he started the season slowly.
Had the hamstring. They were smart with it.
Came out of the gates blazing. I mean, looked terrific in his first handful of starts. Had that 4 or 5 week stretch where he wasn't himself. Had a high ERA. Approaching 7 over a stretch, I believe, in July, and then righted the ship and finished pretty strongly for St. Louis. And maybe more than anything else, Brad, I thought he was a presence in this rotation.
Oh, I totally agree. You have a rotation. First of all, you're very veteran-laden anyhow, but you have somebody coming in with his resume that was second in the Cy Young Award last year. That's going to catch your eye as that breaking ball catch your eye, too, to get the strikeout from Miles Michaelis. But finishes the season, 28 starts, 13 wins for Sonny Gray. And, again, just something to build off. And hopefully next year you're playing meaningful games down the stretch. You're pitching in October, and that guy is standing on the rubber game 1.
Angel Martinez is up. Mentioned last night, for those of you who didn't hear it, his dad was a big leaguer, Sandy Martinez. And Sandy Martinez caught one of the most dominant games pitched in Major League history. He was the man in harness for Kerry Wood's 20 strikeout game in 1998.
I'd have to imagine if you're calling that game, Chip, you start to run out of adjectives.
He only needed 3 fingers that day. Fastball, curveball, slider for Kerry Wood. The 1-2 pitch is cut on and missed. Michaelis surrenders a homer, but not the lead. We are halfway home in St. Louis. It's game 2. The Cardinals lead by a run. it's the first day of autumn, and you got to get ready for the cold winters in St. Louis. And tomorrow, it's Winter Hat Day. 25,000 fans, 16 and older, take home a Cardinals winter hat thanks to Equifax. There are some seats still available. Big crowd expected here at Busch Stadium. Go to cardinals.com/promotions and get your tickets tonight. New hurler on for the Guardians. This is Eli Morgan.
Eli Morgan has thrown the ball well, recalled a couple of months ago. And 29 games so far, so good. Appeared in 61 games for them a year ago.
Matthew Boyd, 4 innings, 2 runs, 4 hits, 6 strikeouts. The Jordan Walker homer, the difference in the game to this point. And now Lucan Baker gets things started. Morgan went to Gonzaga and was selected by the then Indians in the 8th round of the 2017 draft. Like so many, he lost a full year professionally in the COVID season in 2021. Excuse me, in 2020, and then in 2021 made his big league debut.
There's no way to quantify it from a baseball perspective, but I really wonder how much that year for most that weren't at those satellite camps, this one bounces short. Make the play on Lucan Baker. I wonder how much that really stopped the development for some guys and probably derailed careers for others.
I can't help but imagine that quite a few were sidetracked in the pandemic year, but Morgan is back. You know, his major league debut in 2021 was a wild one. It was May 28th of 2021. He started against Toronto. Winds were gusting 45 miles an hour during that game.
That's easy to pitch.
2 2/3 innings, 6 runs, 8 hits, 2 walks. And his manager, Terry Francona, at the time said, I don't know how you evaluate his first big league game. I was worried he was going to get blown off the mound.
So maybe we just give him another chance, huh?
California kid thinking, maybe I need to rethink this pitching in Cleveland or Toronto thing. But it's worked out well for him, as he's ahead of Goldschmidt, 0-2. And now a ball and 2 strikes. Little tapper, that's down the line, but it's foul. And we'll try again. A ball and 2 strikes.
I am looking forward to seeing come postseason time exactly how Stephen Vogt uses this bullpen of his. Talked about the ERA, the best in baseball. They've got 4 guys that have pitched in over 70 games that have a sub-2 ERA. That's unheard of. Actually, no team has ever done that in a full season.
Well, it's a big weapon. We'll see how it holds up under the rigors and bright lights of postseason play. The Guardians have clinched the Central already tonight and trailed 2-1. And that's out of play. Here's that very impressive list of toys that Stephen Vogt has to play with.
It's crazy, these numbers. Hunter Gaddis, Kate Smith, Tim Herron, and Emmanuel Clase. Flat out dominant. Must be fun to pick up the phone and say, just whoever, bring him in.
1-2 count. Driven toward right. Noel got a good jump and makes the play. Went to his knees. He might have started to lose that in the lights. But a heck of a play to retire Goldschmidt. 2 outs.
And lost his footing there at the end of it. And gave you a little Lars Nootbaar. Get Big Christmas a bobblehead.
Here's Arenado. He's 0 for 2. He struck out and lined out. Did you give out Brad Thompson bobbleheads as Christmas presents?
Oh, well, I don't want to ruin your surprise early, Chip, but might have a couple boxes in the basement.
Okay.
Stocking stuffers.
2 balls, no strikes.
To my friend Chip. It's a small bobblehead. I can't write a lot. It's a mini.
It's even 4 apiece. 2-1 game. That's outside. And Arenado might have the hit privilege here with the lead and a 3-0 count. Good changeup. Would you see the action on that pitch?
Just tumbling. 3-0. You don't want to juice him a heater, right? Morgan feels very comfortable with that changeup in his hand.
On the ground, right side. Arenado takes what the defense gives him. A single. Hit number 150 on the year. 8 seasons Arenado's had that mark or better.
Inside out. This one is a slider. It backed up to the middle of the plate, kept the hands in, and drives it through the right side.
So he'll pass the baton to Ivan Herrera, who walked ahead of the Walker homer. And inning ago. Another 1-run game. Cardinals lead it 2-1. And a strike. Mets beat the Phillies today. Braves beat the Marlins 6-2. So no blood for the number 3 wild card spot. Atlanta still on the outside looking in. 2 games behind the Mets. For the final National League playoff spot, they've got a gigantic 3-game series coming up. A ball and a strike. Arenado takes off. Naylor's throw is going to be in time. Arenado tagged out. Chris Conroy rings him up. And the Cardinals out of luck in the 5th inning, but still lead it 2-1. To the 6th we go. Miles Michaelis pitching effectively tonight. 4 strikeouts. He's allowed just 1 run. There's his overall line. No walks. That's always helpful for a starter.
No, it is for sure. And that's something that Miles Michaelis doesn't do much of at all. Only 24 walks on the season for him. So he has been effective. He's moved the ball around. He's used his defense behind him.
So this is where you pay attention to Michaelis, at least this year. The 70 pitch mark or so is, if you look at it statistically, when he's been at his most vulnerable. With that in mind, John King has begun to play catch in the Cardinals bullpen. Manzardo, Ramirez, and Naylor coming up. Manzardo is struck out and grounded out. Terrific play by Sajaci to retire him in the 3rd inning. On the ground to first. Goldie's got that. 1 away. So our BJC Healthcare difference maker is that man, Miles Michaelis, tonight.
Yeah, through 5 1/3 right now with Miles Michaelis. And one of the biggest keys to his success has been he's getting ahead of everybody. He's throwing first pitch strikes, then he's able to go to work. He's using the entire arsenal, has shown some pretty good depth on that curveball, but has, for the most part, minus the solo home run, he stayed out of the middle of the plate, and I thought he's worked down effectively.
And your earlier key tonight, the Cardinals D has been busy.
Gotta use them, right? They're there for a reason.
So JC's risen to the challenge with a couple of good plays at second. And Arenado should have no trouble handling that pop fly in foul ground. 2 outs. So Naylor is next. He's played Pemper with Mason Wynn. And Josh 0 for 2. Tonight, 31 homers, 105 driven in. That's a nice tandem to have in any lineup back-to-back.
It sure is. Cardinals have kept him quiet so far. 0 for 5 with a walk in the series.
One-0 count. That's outside. We talked a lot about how young this Guardians team is. Remember, they earned the #1 overall draft pick thanks to the newly implemented lottery system for non-playoff teams. They got Travis Bazzana, the native of Australia and Oregon State. And he played at high A ball this year. Hit a grand slam in his first professional season in the minors. I think he's a terrific pure hitter. Just what they need more of. More pure hitters in Cleveland.
Well, for sure. And got another bat coming through the farm system. They have arms galore. I mean, they have got so much pitching.
High in the air, deep right. Walker stopping at the edge of the track. Hey, he's got it. And that will retire the side. Miles Michaelis is through 6. Naylor just missed. It's a 1-run Cardinal game. New at McDonald's. Get a McDouble, 4-piece McNuggets, small fries, and a small soft drink for just $5. Another fun game at the ballpark. Great lively crowd, good pitching, timely hitting. Jordan Walker's hit a home run. The Redbirds defense, as Brad said, has risen up tonight. So see if they can add to this lead going to the home half of inning number 6.
Well, you mentioned Walker being the offense here with that 2-run shot. That's what I want to see down the stretch, too. I want to see young guys step up in big moments. Those are the guys that you're really going to be leaning on. That is the future. Jordan Walker, organizational top prospect a year ago. The You know the ceiling that is there for him. I can't wait to see what the last week looks like for him.
Line over third, a base hit for Herrera. That's headed to the corner, and he's going to hustle into second with a leadoff double. He's got 11 two-base hits on the year and a chance to add on here.
Saw this one right out of the hand. Eli Morgan went with the changeup, your Plaza Tire Service pitch tracks, and just jumped it. He's a good hitter.
And the pitchers will always tell you, won't they, when they start hopping when the ball's headed to the plate, that's usually a sign that something bad's going to happen.
Yeah, generally there are some thoughts going through your head there.
So Stephen Vogt will come out and get Morgan. The Cardinals have an insurance runner in scoring position. We'll tell you about the new Guardians reliever when we come back in a 2-1 game. Ozzie Smith, David Freese, and other famous Redbirds take you inside their greatest day as a Cardinal in the 2024 Cardinals Yearbook, now on sale. Go to cardinals.com/yearbook to order or call 314-345-9000.
It is Tim Herrin, your Chevy call to the bullpen. He was one of those four we mentioned earlier. 72nd game, that 1.90 ERA. You're going to see a lot of breaking stuff out of Herrin.
That one pops away, and that'll be an easy advance for Herrera. Certainly wouldn't think they're crossed up, not with pitch comp, so we'll await the scoring.
Yeah, that's hard to do on this one. It's going to be a pass ball. Just caught him right off the thumb behind the plate.
So it is a passed ball. Donovan now with a fly ball could extend the lead. The infield creeps in. And that one foul at third. Cardinals tonight, by my count, are 1-for-3 with runners in scoring position. Pop fly over the Cleveland dugout, foul. So Donovan with a 2-strike count. 8 for 20 so far on the homestand. Lots of room in right center. And Donovan will take time. Herrin's been tough with opposing men in scoring position this year. He's given up just 10 hits. He's walked a few. He's given up 4 extra base hits. Any of those options would be fine here. That's a lot to deal with for a left-handed batter, isn't it?
Well, it is a ton. He'll run that sinker in on the hands. He's done it a couple of times to Donovan. Then that late slider just got a piece of it. He likes the slider. He likes the curveball.
1-2. It's out of play, foul. Heron's a Midwestern boys from Terre Haute, Indiana, and played at IU. Not a high draft pick. Again, the Guardians, you got to give them credit. They've made a lot of hay with late round draft picks, international free agent signings. This guy was a 29th round pick. And now part of the best bullpen in the American League and maybe all of baseball.
Yeah, well, look, he has multiple breaking balls that he could throw for a strike, and then you just saw him miss with that four seam, but he still runs it up there 96 from the left side, hides the ball well. You can see why he's so effective.
When he made his debut last April 2nd, became the first pitcher to face 4 batters in his debut and strike them all out since the mound was moved to 60 feet 6 inches. That was in 1893. Popped up, had him reaching for it. Donnie can't bring home the run at short. Rocchio makes a two-handed catch. And that is out number 1. Here's Jordan Walker, a long homer in the 4th inning for the Cardinals. That's brought to you by StatCast, powered by Google Cloud.
2-run home run. Where are the hot zones? How about down and in for Jordan Walker? That's where he gets this one. Beats him to the spot, and the 2-run home run. That has been the lone offense for the Cardinals to this point.
So the Redbirds 1-4-4 now with Risp, if my math is right.
Chip, your math is always right. You're really good. Were you good at math as a kid?
Terrible at math.
Well, baseball math, you're solid.
That part of it's okay. I was really bad at geometry. I didn't like that one very much.
You know what? Oddly enough, geometry is like the only one that made sense to me.
Really?
Yeah, with the angles and shapes and stuff. For some reason, that made sense. You started putting in these imaginary numbers. Can we just keep letters and numbers separate, please?
Yeah, so you're saying algebra's not your...
It's not my cup of tea, no.
Walker strikes out, 2 away. Runner still at third, and Sajasi's next. He's struck out 2 times.
PEMDAS and all that stuff.
Yeah, I got in trouble in my 10th grade year. Mr. Bullock was my geometry teacher at Parkway West, the Harvard of local high schools. And I asked him one day, why do I have to do this? I want to be a baseball announcer. Let's just say
it's valid.
Let's just say that I wasn't exactly graded on a curve. As JC digs in down a strike now, 0-2. In fact, on one of my report cards that my family gleefully got to look at a few years ago, Mr. Bullock said Chip's big problem is his mouth is usually working when his mind is not in gear.
Okay, but that worked out really well. Everybody's different. This one, foul tip. He gets all of Naylor behind the plate. I'm going to give him a second.
Kind of a bad name for a catcher, wouldn't you say?
Yeah. I mean, it could be cool when you're hitting, you know.
Or throwing out base runners.
Yeah, nailed him.
Nice work by Brian Onora to forget about the pitch clock. Let's make sure that the health and safety of the catcher is paramount here. So a trip to the mound and dusts off the plate, even though it's clean as a whistle. And now we're ready to go 0-2.
Well, Chip, I'm glad for you that you just kept talking in class, because that really worked out at the end of the day.
Well, it depends on who you ask, but thanks.
Well, I mean, your teacher probably got over it. Probably very proud of the fact that you became what you said you would. No clue how you got into it.
Me neither, come to think of it. A swing and a miss. And the Cardinals get a leadoff double, and Herrera left stranded in a one-run game. in St. Louis. We look forward to the final home game tomorrow, and the Cardinals' best since the 1st of June has the ball.
Really solid last time out for Andre Palante. 7 scoreless, struck out a career-high 9 buckos on Monday, and he's just been in control. And what I love seeing about Andre Palante is if something goes wrong, he doesn't let it snowball. He's been able to make some big-time adjustments. This guy has been able to make some adjustments quickly as well. Andrew Kittredge in now in the 7th inning for the Cardinals. He's going to be your Chevy call to the bullpen. And what a year it is for him. 69 games on the season. The ERA just over 3.
Lane Thomas fouls one away and is behind 0-2. Thomas singled and tried to score after a soft relay throw came into the cutoff man Sajaci. He couldn't handle the short hop. The ball deflected to Mason Wynn. Thomas tried to score and was thrown out easily. And what's looking like a very big play in this game. At the moment, it's a 2-1 Cardinals advantage.
You certainly got overzealous in that situation. On the flip side, the Cardinals had an opportunity with Mason Wynn hitting a double. A ball got past him. He didn't see it. And that could have ended up being a run that inning.
And if you wanted a very important chapter in the drama of the 2024 season for the Cardinals, well, this is one of them. 1-run games. They've played a ton of them. And hopefully that experience will serve us well in 2025.
Yeah, I would say the last half inning was one of them as well. Leadoff double and stranded. I mean, that's been maddening for this Cardinals offense.
Well, Michaelis was great tonight. 6 innings, 1 run. Cardinals gave him 2 runs of support. Astoundingly for Miles Michaelis, who's around 500 in a Cardinals uniform. Tonight was the 90th start where the St. Louis offense has given him 2 runs or less of offensive help.
That's an astounding number. It really is. Came into action today 58 and 58 as Andrew Kittredge gets the strikeout, sneaks the fastball by Lane Thomas. But that's hard to pitch like that all the time when you feel like you are walking that tightrope.
And it's really interesting how the script flipped from one season to the next. Last year, Cardinals offense was pretty darn good. It was dynamic, exciting, and powerful as Jimenez rips one into right field for his 2nd hit of the game. But last year the Cardinals had all kinds of pitching problems, both in rotation and bullpen. John Mozeliak said, okay, we think our offense is in pretty good shape, and it's understandable why he felt that way. Let's go out and go the pitching route. By and large, that's worked. But the offense cooled off dramatically.
I mean, seriously, that is the one thing that I personally, I know we've talked about this, thought that I knew about this iteration of the Cardinals in 2024. I thought that they would hit and they'd be able to outslug the opposition. Did not know exactly what the pitching staff was going to look like. Well, pitching staff overall has been middle of the pack. Bullpen been very good. But the offense has just been lackluster. It's crazy how it's gone that way, kind of top to bottom.
John Kinsey Noel is going to be taken down, so Will Brennan grabs a bat to pinch hit here in the 7th. 2-1 game. Got to keep an eye on Jimenez. He's a 30 stolen base man. And he came up in the Mets organization and came to Cleveland when Lindor went to the National League. Runner goes, late break and a hit and run, base hit, and Jimenez on his way to 3rd where he'll be stopped. So Brennan smokes one through the right side of the Cardinals infield, and they've got 1st and 3rd, 1 out.
Yeah, you've got Goldschmidt holding him on over there at first base. Slider plus the tire service pitch track, ground ball just sneaks right past him.
And now you've got Naylor up, the Guardians catcher. Let's hope he's blessed with catcher's speed here. Kittredge could use a strikeout or a double play ball. moving up on that pitch was Brennan. That takes away the double play opportunity. And now they're at second and third with one out. Cleveland was not afraid to run last night. And now some heavy lifting for Kittredge. The pitch popped him up. Mason Wynn at shortstop is going to gather that in. Big second out. Naylor can't bring home the tying run. Now Rocchio is next.
Boy, he needed that. Kittredge had to make a pitch right here, and he does. This one is his fastball getting in there. I mean, that's a perfectly placed pitch right there.
So the Guardians have gone 0-4 runners in scoring position. Their run came on Naylor's blast. Now Rocchio, who reached on an error and struck out, is next. Moved him off the plate. Rocchio out of Caracas, Venezuela. The Guardians signed him in 2017. Another one of those international free agents. He's just 23. And takes a strike.
It's going to be quite the experience for some of these rookie Guardians come postseason time. You know this, every pitch is elevated, every swing, all eyes are on it, every shift of momentum feels like the world in the postseason. Seeing how a young ball club handles that.
What do they say? There's no experience like experience. You've got to play your first playoff game at some point. And Cleveland's already clinched the division. The Cardinals trying to even up this series. Add a game apiece. Room on the left side. They plan to pull on the infield. 2-2 from Kittredge. Here it is. On the ground, right to Goldie. What a job by Kittredge. He'll get out of it and protects the lead. He had him first and third, but a pop out and ground out sends us to the stretch with the Cardinals ahead in front of a big crowd here at home. Farms Ice Cream Sundays start 2 hours before every Sunday home game. Fans and families can enjoy games and free North Star frozen treats in Ford Plaza while supplies last. Go to Cardinals.com/promotions. Our final home Sunday is tomorrow as we welcome Nick Sandlin in to answer a Chevy call to the bullpen for the Guardians, who trail by a run. He'll start with Michael Ciani. Ciani's bounced out and walked.
Something you've noticed about this Guardians bullpen too, Chip. Different looks, right? This guy drops down, a little funky angle coming at you, side three-quarter sidearm. See that splitter there? That's been a really good pitch for Sandlin. The opposition hitting 0.74 against it.
He was a second-round pick by the Guardians out of Evans, Georgia, and Southern Miss University. Two balls and a strike. Just past 8 o'clock. And that one curled around the dish. As we kick off our Honda home run inning with Michael Ciani. If he or any Cardinal can go deep, your Gateway Honda dealers will make a $1,000 donation to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Jordan Walker has homered for the Cardinals. Bo Naylor has homered for Cleveland. And that's where we stand, 2-1 in the bottom of the 7th inning. Two on the ground. That's through for a base hit. 7th Cardinal hit of the game and a fast runner aboard looking for some St. Louis insurance.
Oh, you love having some speed on the base pass. That splitter stayed up. Your Plaza Tire Service pitch track. Great look at the side swing here from Ciani.
Well, let's see if he can take advantage. That delivery a little long from Sandlin. He's got a good lead, not going. And up and away from Mason Wynn, who's doubled to highlight his 3 trips to the plate. Sandlin's thinking he might go too. Yeah, Michael, 19 stolen bases. That's tops on the team. He's only been caught 3 times. A ball and a strike.
It's a tough pitch for a right-hander. That right-on-right split finger. Usually you see that as a lefty running away from you.
Mason tried to bunt and came up empty. I think something too that'll be fun to watch as Mason Wynn and Ciani or any of the other speedsters, Victor Scott II, as they get more acclimated to the game, how the running game coordinates with what Mason Wynn wants to do in the batter's box.
Yeah, and being able to play that small ball, right? You want to drop down a bunt, being able to do so. His first step was away from that baseball.
And I would assume knowing when a runner is going to go, right? We've seen so many times a guy start then stop, and Mason has to take a strike. All that part of the learning curve at this level with Mason Wynn and others. And he awaits a 2-2 pitch. Ciani dancing around, and a chopper hit high towards short. Second base dropped and safe. No transfer there. Jimenez couldn't hang on.
Well, that's what speed does to you, isn't it? Michael Ciani is coming in hot on this one. As soon as the swing of the bat, he is going. This was going to be a tough play anyhow by Rocchio. He's going to have to be fast. He was. But Jimenez just could not make the transfer. That just popped right out of the palm.
So now the Cardinals can play a platoon advantage here. Sandlin has to face the 3rd batter in the inning, and that batter is now going to be Alec Burleson, who pinch hits for Luken Baker. It's fielder's choice and an E4. And St. Louis now with a golden opportunity, and Carl Willis is on his way out to give Sandlin a scouting report on the Cardinals pinch hitter. So the wheels turning in St. Louis in a 1-run game. Let's step aside quickly for a word from our friends at Great Southern Bank.
Who's ahead? Maddie is. She's making a retirement plan.
Way to go, Maddie!
Great Southern. Financial education with a fan club.
So the Cardinals 1 for 6 tonight with runners in scoring position. Sandlin gets a pat on the back. Made a good pitch, got the ground ball. Just a drop on a tough play at second opens the door for St. Louis here. I'm sure, Brad, short memory is what you got to have in a spot like this.
You do for sure. And for the Cardinals standpoint, you got to take advantage of it. A team that does not make a ton of mistakes. Generally, the Guardians made one. Can you make them pay for it?
Siani, a speedster, the lead runner at first. Mason behind him. And a high pop into shallow right. Out goes Jimenez. He calls for it at the line, and they're going to say infield fly. Siani's going to tag. Here's the throw to third, and he's going to be out. He overslid the bag. Ball dropped. They recover, and Michael tagged out. It's a double play. Win at second, 2 down.
Well, the Cardinals taking a look at it, see if they want to challenge that call over at third base. Does he get that left hand back in? He does, and that tag by Ramirez catches him right there in the elbow, or in the armpit. I want to talk about not taking advantage of a situation. Good throw right there, nice tag. But all of a sudden, the Cardinals had first and second, nobody, and now a runner on second base. And 2 down.
I was fooled when Ramirez went back to reach. I thought maybe he dropped the ball. And that's not why there was a pause in the call. It was because Michael overslid the bag and Ramirez reached in and tagged him an instant before Siani could get back. So a couple of base running mistakes potentially have cost the Cardinals 1 run for sure, maybe more here in the 7th inning. Mason's got a big lead. And Jimenez was calling for a pickoff play. He sensed that Mason was inching ever so close to third base. So a step off, and now we reset. A ball and a strike. Line and handcuffed by Naylor at first. Streaking around his win. Throw to the plate is high. Goalie moves up. That throw is late. And the Cardinals finally get a break. It's a 3-1 score.
The Mason win on this one was on his horse. He was cruising right here to score on that play. The hot shot from Goldie, couldn't handle it. Just handcuffed and went right through his legs. Jimenez tried to make a strong throw, but it's up the line. Good base running by Mason.
So that helps St. Louis a little breathing room now. It's a 3-1 game. And that'll be an error on Josh Naylor. So a couple of errors in this inning. So 3-1 St. Louis. 2 errors for the Guardians tonight. Both have come in the 7th. Cleveland will have the top of its order coming up for the 8th inning. Jojo Romero is warming up. 2 balls and a strike. Siani started with a single. Mason Wynn hit a chopper to short. Jimenez dropped the force play at second. Burleson popped into a double play after Siani overslid the third base bag, and then Goldschmidt put it in play. A hot shot that Naylor couldn't handle at first. That brought home Wynn, and that's how we've gotten our 3rd run tonight. It's the old saying, put it in play, something good can happen.
That's it. Every bit of breathing room helps as well.
So now a 2-2. Did that get him on the way by? Think so. Yep. Brian Honora was tripped too. He stumbled either over Bo Naylor or the bat when Arenado got plunked. And Sandlin's long innings going to continue, at least for the moment.
Yeah, it was a sinker. Hopefully caught mostly Jersey there on Arenado. That funky arm angle, if you don't get your fingers on top of the baseball, easy to have you sail that way arm side. They've been pitching, everybody's been pitching Arenado in. You have to do so effectively, but just missed his spot big time on that one.
Well, let's see if we can break their hearts here with an extra base hit. 3-1. He tried to. And top of the zone, Herrera didn't get it. He's walked, doubled, and scored. He's done nice work behind the plate with Michaelis and Kittredge. Swing and a high fly ball belted. Deep left field. There's some damage. 3-run homer, a backbreaker. Partner, the Guardians gave the Cardinals 5 outs this inning, and they've turned that into 4 runs.
Well, this crowd of over 41,000 has got something to cheer about. 3-run shot by Ivan Herrera, a 418-foot job, his 4th of the season, and a huge one, and a great play by that young man in the bleachers.
So 6-1 Cardinals, and give that fan a contract. What a grab. Reaching over into the Cleveland bullpen. And what a big swing for Herrera. So it's 6-1 St. Louis. Brendan Donovan is the 7th man to come to the plate. And he lifts one toward Martinez. And that will retire the side. Couple of defensive mistakes for the Guardians turns into another $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation. Thanks to your Gateway Honda dealers and Ivan Herrera. It's 6-1 Cardinals. Young fan in the middle of the screen with the Cardinals cap is the handsome son of Jim Hayes. That's Tyler Hayes. He's having fun tonight. He's good luck charm.
Yeah, him and his buddies got some offense here for the Cardinals. Tyler's riding high, too. He had a game today. He struck out 7. Got to see some of his video. He was tearing it up.
Sweet. Well, we know where the Athletics come in the Hayes family.
Boy, it's It's Mom. I mean, no way around it. Not that Jim's not quite the athlete himself.
Smoke towards second, and Sajasi couldn't flag that one down. Martinez rifles one through the middle of the diamond and leads off the top of the 8th.
Boy, that was about as close to JoJo as you're going to get. 102.6 off the bat. That's a bad feeling when that's whistling back your way. All you see is just a white flash.
So Martinez 1 for 4. Manzardo 0 for 3. See if JoJo can get one of his patented ground balls here and protect a 5-run lead. Manzardo has struck out and grounded out twice. He hits a bullet to center. Back-to-back hits on back-to-back pitches. So we're flying into the danger zone here. Here's Ramirez, then Naylor, then Lane Thomas. 2 aboard, nobody out. 5-run game.
Well, thank goodness for a little bit of offense beforehand. 95 miles an hour. Just got more of the plate than JoJo wanted here in this spot. You know how tough Jose Ramirez is. 3-hit day yesterday. Doubled in the 4th inning today.
One ball, one strike. Padres winning tonight at home, 2-0. Boys, San Diego's had a great second half. They're trying to hand the White Sox loss number 119. They're closing in on the 62 Mets.
The baseball season is long. Try to lose 120 games.
Swing and a drive. Deep left field. Ramirez has hit a 3-run homer.
Jose Ramirez strikes again. Homered in the ball game last night from the other side of the plate. This time a slider down and in. Number 37 on this. It's down under the plate. There's not a pitch that he can't get to. So strong. And that's going to draw a visit here for JoJo Romero. Dusty Blake, Cardinals pitching coach, out to talk to him. But it has been 3 batters and a lot of loud contact for JoJo Romero.
That was hit on such a line, I didn't get a chance to save like they did in Major League. The ball was just a little too high. Too high?
What does that mean? It's too far.
It was creamed. And so now it's a 6-4 game. Dusty Blake buys some time. Matthew Liberatore is warming up. 2 singles and a 3-run homer in the 8th inning. Ramirez now 37 homers to go along with 40 stolen bases. Again, he's got a shot at a 40-40 season.
And not even a whisper about him when it comes to the MVP due to what Aaron Judge and Bobby Witt Jr. have done in the American League. But just another fantastic season for the 6-time All-Star.
So Naylor, lefty versus lefty, takes a strike. Three in, nobody out. And 0-2. And the Guardians try to catch the Yankees for the top record in the AL. Yankees have jumped in front of the A's 2-0 out west. Kansas City lost to the Giants 9-0. That clinched the Central for the Guardians, and they're trying to complete a comeback so it won't be a subdued celebration after Game 2 tonight for their division crown.
Yeah, you always want to win before you celebrate. Cardinals would like to spoil that one for them.
Slow roller takes care of Josh Naylor for out number 1. Fans limited spots remain for the 2025 Cardinals cruise. Sign up now to sail the Caribbean January 25th through February 1st with Cardinals celebrities. Enjoy stops in the Turks and Caicos, St. Thomas, the Bahamas, and Puerto Rico with a special excursion with Benji Molina to his family's hometown. It'll be a great trip. Hope you join us. Go to cardinals.com/cruise to register.
Jim, I know you're going on the Cardinal cruise, right?
I am.
Went last year. I know how much fun you said that thing was. I told you I've never been on a cruise. I've only been on a boat like 2 or 3 times in my life.
Really?
Not a strong swimmer either, Chip. So if we go down, I'm in some trouble.
Well, we got to get you on the cruise, man. Great Cardinal fans come out. It's really a fun, low-key setting with exotic ports of call. And to see Benji Molina's hometown, that'll be a lot of fun, too.
Really neat to get a tour of his home. The Molina family, you know what they mean to Puerto Rico. Be really special.
2 balls, 2 strikes. It's been a struggle for JoJo tonight. More action in the Guardians bullpen. Liberatore looks to be just about ready if needed. The pitch inside, full count. Another base runner brings the tying run to the plate.
Well, how nice is it, though? Like, because in stark contrast to most of the season, you have a game where your reliever has a tough one. You just lost the lead or further in the hole. At least Cardinals still have that 2-run cushion because of that 3-run shot. But that is likely going to be it for JoJo Romero, just not his evening.
So Oliver Marmol will come to the mound. He'll bring on Matthew Liberatore. JoJo faced 5 batters, retired just 1 of them. And now Jimenez represents the tying run. Matthew Liberatore is coming on in relief in what's now a 2-run Cardinals game. Brought to you by Chevrolet, the #1 selling brand in the St. Louis area. Find yours at your Mid-America Chevy dealer. By Steel Battery, real steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. And by Budweiser, disc buds for you. As Brad said, it wasn't JoJo's night tonight, but the luxury of the Cardinals, they had a 5-run lead. They still have the lead, and Matthew Liberatore answers the Chevy call to the bullpen with the tying run coming to the plate.
Yeah, all of a sudden, this is a leverage spot here after JoJo struggled in this one. And Matthew Liberatore, your Chevy call to the bullpen, well, he's been in more and more of these spots. He's been really good out of the pen. Looking forward to this. We saw him in back-to-back games against the Pirates. Got a couple of days off, and now back at it.
Andres Jimenez has 2 hits tonight, both of them singles. You got Jimenez, Brennan, and Naylor coming up. And up and away, 2 balls, no strikes. Chopped over first. That is a fair ball. It went over the bag fair. And Thomas is going to be waved around. Walker got to it late and scoring standing up. is Lane Thomas. Jimenez with a double that stayed fair over the glove of Goldschmidt, and we have a one-run game.
And you want to talk about some bad luck, too. You made a pitch, you got the result that you wanted, which was a ground ball in that spot, but hit hard off the ground. Nothing Goldie's going to be able to do about this, and somehow stays fair. Lane Thomas saw it over the shoulder where it was, and then he was cruising.
So now Miles Straw is going to come on and pinch hit for Brennan. Brennan provided a pinch hit single in the 7th. Straw tries for the same here. Tying run in scoring position. And don't for a moment think that this is not a big game for the Guardians. They want the overall best record if they can get it. They are pushing hard to the finish line and trying to come back from a 6-1 deficit. Now it's another Cardinal one-run game. It's astounding. All 4 runs in the inning charged to Jojo Romero. So Libby's got Straw in an 0-2 hole. The 0-2 popped him up. Wynn and St. J.C. converge. It'll be Thomas behind the second base bag. There's a big second out. Straw can't advance Jimenez, and now Naylor's coming up. Another lefty-lefty platoon advantage, you hope, for Matthew.
Well, Bode Naylor 1 for 3 in the ball game today. That one, a big one though, home run in the 5th inning off of, that was Miles Michaelis.
And look, a decision is on the line for Miles tonight. He left with the lead. He's still in line for his 9th win, but give Cleveland credit. They've scored 4 runs here in the 8th. And this long inning means the big bats might come up again in the 9th. But the Cardinals have Ryan Helsley for the final 3 outs if Liberatore can keep it 6-5.
Well, you talk about giving them credit too. It would have been very easy to mentally check out of this ball game. They got news early on that the Royals had lost, that they had won the division, but they've been dialed in aside from the couple of errors last inning.
Just fouled it first. So Liberatore a strike away from ending a long 8th inning. Naylor the 8th man to come to the plate. $41,000 plus want Libby to end the inning. And he did. Nasty breaking ball. That will retire the side. Stephen Vogt's Guardians now down a run as we go to the home 8th. Let's go back to the Cardinals' 7th inning, Bradley, for our Budweiser play of the game.
Well, it's that swing of the bat by Ivan Herrera, the 3-run shot, his 4th of the season, that gave the Cardinals some cushion in this ballgame. Cushion you were hoping that they wouldn't have to use, but all of a sudden, after a rocky last half inning, things have tightened up. Cardinals with a one-run lead as Andrew Walters answers the Chevy call to the bullpen. His 6th game of the season here for the Guardians.
Walker first pitch bounces to short. And there is your first out. Miles Straw stays in the game. He's now in center. And Lane Thomas has shifted over to right field. So Walker 1 for 3. And Thomas Saggese looking for his first hit. He's got the hat trick, 3 strikeouts. Looking ahead to the 9th inning, you know Ryan Helsley's coming on. He'll have 9, 1, and 2. If you get him in order, you don't have to face Ramirez. If you don't, you do.
I would recommend just getting him in order, Chip.
Sounds like a plan.
Easier said than done. A big rip right there by Thomas Saggese. Got a fastball up in the zone that he liked, just couldn't get a hold of it.
So an even count for Saggese. And in for a strike. Walters out of the University of Miami. He was a 2nd-round pick by the Guardians. That was last year. He's 23. A ball and 2 strikes. And Saggese has struck out for the 4th time tonight. 2 away. And it's up to Ciani to keep inning number 8 going for St. Louis. Ciani's reached base twice. He's walked and singled. Walters comes from a great athletic family. His uncle Matt was a starting defensive tackle on the Miami Hurricanes national championship team in 2001 and then played with the Jets.
Pretty good pedigree there.
And some pretty good pitches here with 2 outs. The 0-2. Tied him up. Good live fastball, 95 with movement.
We've talked about it a lot. The Guardians do as good of a job as anybody in baseball of identifying talent in the draft, then honing it in the minor league levels, getting them here and seeing them have a lot of success.
And a swing and a miss. Couple of strikeouts. Walters pulls the string. And now Ryan Helsley. The stage is yours. He'll try to protect a 6-5 Cardinals lead in Game 2 with the Guardians. into the 9th inning. What a game. It was nip and tuck early. A Cardinals 4-run inning gave us a 5-run lead, but the Guardians just won't go away.
No, they've been battling. But how about the job Miles Michaelis did? 6 innings, only gave up 1, didn't walk anybody. The big 3-run shot by Ivan Herrera, and now turning it over to Ryan Helsley. Your Chevy call to the bullpen, looking for save number 46 here against the Guardians.
Lars Nootbaar has entered the game defensively, so he takes over in right field. Again, the task for Helsley, perfect world, you get him 1, 2, 3, and you don't have to worry about Ramirez until tomorrow. He's lurking 4th in a 1-run game. Brian Rocchio leads off and didn't get it. 99 miles an hour. This series also features the 2 best closers in the major leagues. Helsley with 45. Clase for the Guardians with 46. We haven't seen him yet. We'd like to keep it that way. Helsley, Brad, has been on a terrific run for the Cardinals. In 45 saves, 77 games won this year.
Look at the numbers that you're talking about. 46 saves for Clase. Ryan Helsley looking to match him tonight. And you're right, he has been on a run the last 13 games for Helsley. 14 scoreless.
Swing and a miss. Rocchio didn't get that. Nasty slider. 1 man down.
Slider ends up backing up, tails away from him. Makes that very difficult. And you look at the single season saves leaders. Ryan Helsley at 45, trying to catch Jason Isringhausen, Lee Smith, and eventually Trevor Rosenthal. So going for some Cardinal history here at the end.
Angel Martinez takes a strike. David Fry on deck. It may not be good for your blood pressure, but a Ramirez-Helsley matchup sure would be dramatic.
Don't need it, Chip. I've had enough drama in my life. Don't need that.
1 ball, 1 strike. Laced out of play. Helsley a strike away from out number 2. Martinez, Fry, and Ramirez. 3 straight hits last inning. He went around. Ball in the dirt, flip to first, 2 are down.
Well, the strikeout of Rocchio was on the slider. This time Martinez gets the slower curveball, and it's all relative because his curveball's coming in at 83. That tumbling action could not stop himself.
So Fry, the final hope for Cleveland. Appreciative crowd on its feet for Ryan Helsley. He was trying to ambush a heater and got the hook. 0-1. He is a man on a mission tonight. Trying to tie Clase for the big league saves lead. He's a strike away from 46. Here comes the 0-2. Ryan is ready. Crowd roaring. Here it comes. Hey, struck out the side, and the Cardinals win it. 6-5 your final.
Save at number 46, tying the league lead for Ryan Helsley. And a couple of really big swings of the bat by the Cardinals youngsters. Jordan Walker with a 2-run shot. Ivan Herrera with a 3-run shot and made a winner out of Miles Michaelis.
Cardinals split the series in the first 2 affairs. We go for a series win tomorrow in the home finale. 6-5 the final tonight. Congrats again to the Guardians. They're the Central champs, and they'll celebrate here in St. Louis tonight. We'll celebrate with Cardinals Live postgame. Jim Edmonds, Scott Warman, Jim Hayes will wrap up a Redbirds winner for Brad Thompson, Chip Carey, and our crew. We'll see you here for the home finale between the Cardinals and Guardians tomorrow afternoon.
Week's Cardinals Insider.
Redbirds take the middle game of the 3-game set over the Guardians by a final 6-5. Jim Edmonds will join us coming up next on Cardinals Live. Cardinals looking to rebound after last night's loss. We'll tell you why they were able to do just that. Miles Michaelis looking for a W for the first time in a while. We'll break down his evening, plus plenty of reaction from Busch, which includes manager Ollie Marmol. Stay with us. Cardinals Live is next on Bally Sports Midwest.
others or hurry into the Honda Summer Event.
Helsley coming in the ninth to shut the door on the Guardians, and did just that as the Birds respond after a series opening loss with a 6-5 win in a middle game of the 3-game set against the American League Central Division champions tonight over at Busch Stadium. And welcome inside our Ballpark Village studios for Cardinals Live, the Cardinal Hall of Famer, Jim Edmonds, Scott Warman with you. Good ball game, Jim, when you think about not only Cardinals getting some punch, especially with Ivan Herrera in the middle lineup, but Miles Michaelis was really looking for a good start. He got that, and of course, Helsley doing what Helsley's done all year long.
Yeah, it was a good game until they scored a couple of runs, made everyone a little nervous. Yes. This team's been a little iffy, but the bullpen's been strong all year long, but you hit it on the head. The big home run by Herrera, a couple of errors that inning, and then on the back end, each end, the bookends, Miles, and then Helsley, tremendous. And finally, Miles gets a win. Yep. It's been a while, I think.
It has been 2 months, just about to the day.
It's about as long as it's been since I've had a win.
So the Cardinals having the 2-1 lead, holding on. You go after stretch time to the bottom of the 7th inning. And Jimmy, you kind of pointed out, it's kind of gift wrapped as the Guardians having all kinds of trouble feeling the baseball.
So this is the no slide rule effect right here. Is, by the way, you don't throw that ball at second base if the guy's sliding in. So it's kind of a weird play. Tries to rush, and then it looks like Goldie hits the ball right through the first baseman. You know what I love about this play? The hustle and the slide. That's what gets this team going right here. I believe when you have a kid who can run like that and play defense the way he plays and hits the way he hits and can slide in there. You can see we got the run, and then that can't feel good. Thankfully, it didn't really get him. And then what do you got on this, Scotty?
Ivan Herrera, who was on base 3 times, part of our Honda home run inning, puts another $1,000 to the Make-A-Wish Foundation from the Gateway Honda dealers, as Ivan Herrera is our Mid-America Chevy Dealer Player of the Game, and he's with Jim Hayes. Jimmy.
2 hits for Ivan Herrera, including a big 3-run homer in the 7th inning. 418 feet on the home run. 0-1 slider. Are you looking for a certain pitch there?
Yeah, I kind of see on that pitch, man. The guy has a really good fastball. I think I didn't even see the fastball. Then I was like, he checked to the heater. I saw on the slider, I could connect really good.
You are hitting 480 in close and late situations, which means basically, here's the water. I held my position pretty good. 480 close and late, which means later in games, clutch situations, you come through. Are you just more locked in late in games?
Yeah, I think I locked in so much better, man. You know, there's a lot of things that I'm working, and it's just trying to be the best version of myself. And in that situation, I take pride, man. And it's a tough at bat for the pitcher, man. I locked in, and it's a tough at bat for the pitcher.
Miles Michaelis pitched well tonight, did a good job getting ahead in counts. What was the key?
Getting ahead, you just say it, man. He attacked everybody and make good pitch. We did it.
Last thing, how much fun is it catching Ryan Helsley?
Man, the guy is one of the best pitchers, one of the best closers I've ever seen, man. I think he even fooled me with his slider. He's just such a great pitcher. He's so strong, and that's why he throws 100, man. The guy works so hard, and shout out to him for working hard.
Thanks for the time.
You're welcome.
Ivan Herrera.
Jimmy, thanks so much. Let's take a look at this one more time. We've seen a lot of this here, which is a good thing.
Look out,
and they didn't get the cat. The cat said, all right, enough after this
He
past
did hold
week.
his ground, but luckily that Herrera wasn't in on this one like the other day. Like, I think they had him. Someone was in for him. That
I think Brendan Donovan was holding him up. He truly was. I'll tell you what, this
offensive that was offensive holding right there.
Yes, it was. This Ivan Herrera, this young man, he can hit the baseball.
Yeah, he does a nice job, and you know, sometimes he doesn't throw the ball the best, but he does a great job behind the plate. And he can hit, and it's just nice to be able to go back and forth with your catchers. You have one guy that goes out there and does a nice job. You throw another guy in the mix, and you got to love when you plug and play guys that don't they don't stick out. So that means they did a nice job that day, and look what happened. I mean, he didn't just not stick out. He ended up winning the game. So that's a plus for Ollie in the group.
So the Cardinals jump out to a lead, and then all of a sudden Cleveland answers early in the game. The Cardinals score those runs in the bottom of the 7th, and another counterpunch when you think about the 8th inning, Jimmy, for the Cleveland Guardians. And you get to the top of the order. The first 2 base runners are on, and there's that guy, Jose Ramirez, who's almost a 40-40 guy, but there's some other guy named Shohei that's really up to 52 and 52 the last time we checked.
This kid right here, I mean, he went to deep last night left-handed, and then tonight he went down and in deep right-handed. I thought that ball was going to go in Big Mac land.